Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got something done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was gonna say I am getting up there in age. I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people. Life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's.
Did you grow up with a scarcity mindset? Did you grow up knowing I didn't have much? I don't know anything about investing, and so all I know how to do is save. You know what? If you grew up like me, you've seen so many people just save hundreds of thousands of dollars and build houses back home in Africa. They're saving all their money, they're sending it back home in bungalows and big, crates and all these stuff. They're just pushing it back to their homeland and their home country. But the way I look at things is not so linear, it's not so one way. You see, this world revolves around money. The government prints money. In fact, the rich don't even truly value or respect money as much as you think. They know that it can be printed. They know that it is all just being manipulated. And I'm not one of those guys that's going to be out here talking about the world and all of its philosophies. But if you know anything about money, the people truly at the bottom that are begging for $1, begging for $5, $10, $20, it is so insane to know that millions and billions can just be shipped off to a foreign country in a day, and your tax-paying dollars are the ones that's funding the schools, funding the roads, and then people don't even have a choice in what happens to them outside of the small vote that they allow you to have. You see, today we're going to talk about the saver. We're going to talk about the person who only knows how to save their money and they don't invest. They don't know what to do because they're so linear. You see, I know people who have spent $300,000 in their life savings to build a home back home. But if they had just simply spent $10,000 initially on a home in America and had a mortgage on that home instead of paying and renting for 30 plus years, they would have had $500,000 in equity, $1 million in equity, and they would have never needed to save money to build a home in Africa. They could have just simply bought a home in Africa. They could have taken out a second loan on their house and bought a home free and clear in Africa if that's all they wanted to do, and still had $700,000, still had $300,000. But instead, because they knew nothing of investing in America, nothing of building a life for themselves in America. In fact, they probably didn't think that it was possible. You see, it all starts with how big your goals are, how big your mindset is. A lot of people can only do what they have seen in the past. And what we have seen in my own family, in a lot of our culture, is people save, and they build back home. And so the money is simply limited. The wealth is simply limited to what you're able to do back home. Now, granted, I love the fact that we're able to pour back into our communities, pour back into our countries. But imagine if you had twice as much wealth. Imagine if you had 3 times as much wealth. How much could you have poured back into those same communities? Would Africa still be the same as it is today? I don't believe so. I believe it will be so much different when you have 3 times more wealth going back than what has been going back. And so I'm not just talking about Africa, I'm talking about India, I'm talking about Mexico, I'm talking about Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, I'm talking about all of the places that have foreign ancestors, all the people who have foreign ancestors, all the people who grew up seeing their parents struggle to save and invest back home. This is for you. You have to understand that investing in the markets is your friend. Learning these tools are your friends. Making easy money, hard money, difficult money, they're all your friends. You need to learn how to make money in several ways. Not taking too much risk, but understanding the history of money and how it works in America today. You see, I don't go out day trading and swing trading every single day. No, I invest in the markets. I look at the history, 100 years of data to back my investments and the things that I look towards doing. 100 years plus of data in real estate in America today that back the history will tell me that it will surely repeat itself. And if I know it's going to go up like it did in 2020, then why not? And if it comes down like it did in 2008, then I buy more because it will just go up again. People need to live somewhere. And when there's a need, there's a demand. And where there's a demand, there's money. When you have what people demand, there is money. You understand? And so we have to break free of the mindset of simply saying, I'm going to save my way into retirement. You need to invest your way into retirement. And then what you thought was your retirement will no longer be. You can 3x your retirement in just 30 years. In just 30 years, you can 3x your retirement. Do not limit yourself to simply saving. Start investing. Start learning investments. I have multiple videos on my channel about investing. I've shown my portfolios. I've shown my investments. I've shown how much money can be made in these markets over a decade of experience, over a decade of time. Do not limit yourself to what you only have seen done through your experiences. Start to expand your horizons. I learned everything I knew from books and YouTube. I didn't have nobody to teach me how to invest in the stock market. I had to learn from experience. I had to get in there and learn for myself. And over a period of time, guess what? I've learned how to succeed. I've learned how to succeed, and you can too. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for podcasters, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.